Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. DJ HAMP Stampede, we in the building. Yo, if this is not one of the most diabolical scenes I've seen in a long time, and this is not even a rarity, but the fact that with all the technology we get to see everything in real time, it just makes it that more excruciatingly painful and disheartening.
Mass shooting in the Grays Ferry section of Philadelphia. This shooting, just one incident over a very violent weekend in the city. Action News reporter Jessica Cartalia is live with more. And Jessica, you have new video showing the terrifying moments multiple people opened fire.
Now, Sarah, that video is incredibly difficult to watch. It's just hard to fathom that something like that could happen. Meanwhile, many of the victims of that shooting were brought here to Penn Presbyterian Hospital, where they are still being treated. Ring camera footage is now part of a police investigation into a gunfight early this morning in Grays Ferry. Hazardous waste crews scrub blood from the sidewalk just hours after that mass shooting.
There is a lot of video circulating online. It's pretty much a horrific scene.
Police say a gunfight erupted just before 1 o'clock this morning on the 1500 block of South Edding Street in Grays Ferry. After making several arrests over the weekend, police were monitoring reports of large gatherings and loud music. They were in the process of responding to a nearby call when they heard the gunfire. When they arrived on scene, they found a dozen shooting victims ranging in age from 15 to 24.
Almost 140 pieces of ballistic evidence has been recovered. We definitely believe, based on our observation, a gun with a switch was involved.
There was so much evidence at the scene. In addition to yellow markers, police wrote numbers by hand.
It's past frustrating.
Tyree Glasgow is executive director of the Young Chances Foundation, a youth center in Grays Ferry working to end violence and provide opportunities for young men. He knows many of the victims in this morning's shooting.
They are working to get jobs, going to vocational school and doing those things. So to have their lives stop, for gun violence is something that is frustrating and painful.
Glasgow, who grew up in South Philly, says residents are left to clean up the blood and remnants of this morning's shooting as city workers remain on strike.
I want to come together and clean it up, but the blood, the trash, even the food, the activities that we're supposed to have today for our summer camp, we had to put on pause today.
Police say they transported 8 of the 12 victims to the hospital. 2 of the victims were juveniles. They are expected to be okay. And police are still working to determine what was behind this shooting here at Presby. They said that many people showed up after that shooting, including those police officers, to make sure that things stayed calm. We're live at Penn Presbyterian Hospital. Jessica Cartalia, Channel 6, Action News.
The gun with the switch is literally the only weapon you could see clear as day. If that boy wasn't holding his wrist, he would have shot everybody on that porch. As you can see, he had no control whatsoever. So this is a Glock 19 right here, right? This is usually what they be having, I think. And the Glock is such a simple weapon. It's easy to take apart. It's easy to clean. And it's also easy to enhance. And that's where you see that switch plate start to come in, right? So on the back right here, they replaced this part and they put that mechanism on to where it makes it an automatic handgun. So now here you have to pull the trigger several times. And it's a semi-automatic, so a bullet comes out every time you pull. When it has that switch on the back, one pull, it just fires. Like you see in the movies, right? With the machine guns and such. And they got that extended clip. Who knows, right? They don't care what type of ammo is in there. And that's the crazy part, right? They can have all different types of bullets in there with different type of trajectories. And there's no aim. I don't even know how. It's sickening, to be honest. And you saw the boy on the porch. Guns shaking like this all over the place. A child. People that got shot from ages 15 to 23, 24. And they all had their hands on one of these. This the Glock 19, popular. He had that switch on the back, and you saw how crazy it was going. It's despicable, man. Where are the parents? Whose job is this? And at what point are people being held accountable? You see the youth leader, he's saying that these guys trying to get jobs. He's trying to get their mind right. The parents, that's where it starts. He literally has to reverse 17 years for these kids to make them think differently when they never had reins put on them and their lives get cut short. But this is the trajectory they've been on.
And Kelly, you spoke with the family of one of the victims who died. Unfortunately, this is not the first time they've dealt with gun violence.
Yeah, Sheba, sadly that is the case. The father of 24-year-old Azir Harris had a heartbroken plea to the city of Philadelphia today to put the guns down. He says Azir was a father to a 1-year-old little boy and a paraplegic because he survived a drive-by shooting when he was only 17 years old. This family has been through so much and they are devastated.
I carried him at his time when he was down, and now I can't be there to pick him up no more, and it hurts. Really do. It hurts me bad.
Troy Harris says he keeps a close watch on his son, the youngest of 6, 24-year-old Azir Harris, who has been wheelchair-bound since he was 17 years old following his injuries in a drive-by shooting in South Philadelphia. When Azir's friends got him out of the house last night, he says he didn't question it.
But I figured they'd either go to the store, get some juice or something like that. I never thought that he would be on the other side of town when that happened to him.
He identified Azir, an outgoing positive father to a 1-year-old boy, as one of the 3 victims shot and killed on the 1500 block of South Edding Street around 1 a.m. He says Azir's son's mother was one of the 9 other victims injured in the shooting. Emotional loved ones gathered outside Penn Presbyterian Hospital all morning for updates as police were seen towing vehicles away for evidence. As seen in this surveillance video, police say they believe more than 100 shots erupted during an impromptu block party gathering on the block. Police say this video is part of their ongoing investigation.
This is Azir right here, y'all. This is Azir right here. This is when he was 17, though. In a hospital bed, got shot in a drive-by. That's him in a wheelchair right there. Now, was it 8 years later, 7 years later? He has a 1-year-old son, but he won't be here to see him grow. 12 people shot, 3 killed, 140 rounds fired. Azir didn't make it. Every single person who was shot and or killed looked just like him, looked just like me. His dad said he was running to the corner store. He ends up across town. Mind you, he's been a paraplegic for 7, 8 years. Got a 1-year-old son. Won't be able to see him grow up, though. Is it random? Was it random in the drive-by? Was it random in the shootout? Going across town, you asking for it? All these questions have merit. But the key is the boys shouldn't be dead. I bet you them boys don't even know who, what, when, why they shooting at each other. They can't even tell you what the problem is. They might even be related. This is the scene right here. When you watch this video again, look at the lack of panic. Yeah, everybody's scrambling, but you got people literally walking back and forth, walking around, 140 shots fired. That just shows how desensitized we really are. That shows how apathetic we are to what's happening around us. Ain't nobody screaming and yelling like you would expect with 140 rounds going off around you from automatic weapons, altered weapons that are illegal. There ain't no panic here. That gives me cause for pause. That really resonates with me because it lets you know how often this is happening. And as you can see, the verbiage has changed. Look at the headline. 3 killed in a mass shooting. The definition changed. You've been witness to this. You know somebody who's been around when a mass shooting actually transpired. It ain't just the hyperbolic shooting in Las Vegas anymore. Shooting at the Buffalo grocery store. Nah. 4 or more people shot and or killed in a given situation now qualifies. You're going to see this more and more. What did y'all see in that video? Did y'all see the lack of panic? Did you see the apathy? Did you see how accustomed they are to this happening? Hundreds of people out there, 140 rounds. One dude walking around, the girl creeping by. Yeah, they kind of scrambling over each other on the porch, But it's a lot more calm than you think it should be when 140 rounds are let off from automatic weapons. Even the boys shooting out, there's very little to no fear there because this is the customs. And we say this all the time. Yeah, it's 10,000 black people, mostly men, doing violent crime, right? We understand that. But the net of negativity is cast among the overwhelming majority of us. We can't shake these stereotypes. And then you look, we okay with being around it. By proxy and not snitching, by having no panic, expecting these things to happen. We already know. Shout out to Philosophical. He said the women is standing too close to the hoes so you can't tell the difference. What we got to understand is how you do anything is how you do everything. That also applies to the little black boys and black men. The men who just trying to make it, survive, do well, take care of their families. The little boys are just trying to go to school, play sports, do well, go on to college, go on to trade school. We can't differentiate between them and the boys that's really outside, the boys that was doing all that shooting. The 12 people that got shot, the 3 dead, how much you want to bet 90% of them wasn't even involved in the actual shooting, didn't have a gun in their hand? We can't tell the difference, so now everybody gets a negative connotation. That's the reason why, even though the nominal number doing the crime hurts us so much, is because they can't tell the difference. So the assumption is usually negative. And if you get placed in a box of being violent, what happens? We try to fight the stereotypes. That is not what is propagandized. This is the mass shooting. This is. We just saw in Indianapolis, 2 boys, 2 teenagers killed. This is. And we can't disprove it because every major city, we know where not to go. We know where not to play at. We know where not to visit. Stereotypes. Stereotypes will kill a community and a culture. Parents, we need y'all. We fucking need y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm out.